What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about a very common and a very popular manipulation tactic among so-called high-value men. Now, I'm going to jump right into this. The manipulation tactic I'm talking about is asking women and starting these conversations of, what do you bring to the table? It seems logical at first, but it's often meant to do some real damage to a woman's psyche, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, when you hear men starting this conversation or having these debates about what women do or don't bring to the table, you'll notice one very common thread in these conversations, and that is, in general, there's no right answer. No matter what a woman says, a man will devalue whatever she says she's bringing to the table. A man can do that for himself. I can do that for myself. Guys don't care about that. Guys don't need that from women. Blah, blah, blah. None of it's ever accepted. None of it's ever like, oh, damn, great answer. You know what? I could use that in a relationship. Because these men aren't offering healthy relationships. They're offering superiority. And those women who accept their superiority can get on the boat. And those women who don't are rejected. The funny part about it is those women who are rejected are the lucky ones. Because I talk to a lot of these women after they get on those boats, after they get on the high value man bandwagon. And when they get off, they're damaged, they're insecure, they're desperate, lonely, and afraid. They're disempowered because of years of being treated like second-class citizens in their own homes. The what do you bring to the table argument is often a tactic used by narcissists and just regular assholes who aren't narcissists to make their partners question themselves, second-guess themselves, devalue themselves mentally, and lower their standards for whoever they might be starting a relationship with if they're considered high value or to have options. Again, you'll almost never hear a guy just accept the answer and be like, oh, that's a good answer. I guess I could use that. Usually, no matter what a woman says, it's not good enough, or he can do it himself, or men don't care about that. Again, this is meant to devalue a woman to herself, and it should be a red flag if it's brought up as a serious question. And those types of rebuttals of, I don't need you to do that, I don't care about that, I can do that for myself. If those things are brought up, if those are the rebuttals and the responses that you get in even engaging in this stupid-ass conversation, then it's a red flag. Please go the other way. This is often men avoiding responsibility and accountability for their own actions. They exalt themselves and everything they think they bring to the table, so to speak, and devalue and disempower whatever ideas you have about what you bring to the table so that they can be less accountable, and they can leverage that lack of accountability by you lowering your standards for their behavior and their treatment of you. This question, when they ask it, is meant to reduce your human quality and your partnership quality to these men. If they don't value healthy partnership or love or companionship, then they should just say that. Instead, they try to program women against themselves by thinking no matter what they do, they're not good enough. Now, contrary to popular belief, I'm for treating the hoes like hoes. Some women are scandalous. I get that. But my issue is they turn this on good, loyal, healthy-minded women. They mislabel and justify mistreating every woman like this. And it does no favors for anyone in the dating community, even them, when they finally want to settle down. I think it's a weak manipulation tactic to corner a woman with this question, reject all of her answers, and then try to force her to prove herself to be supernatural in order to just deserve or be good enough for a relationship with a man who still might treat her like a second-class citizen because he thinks what he does as a man is more valuable, more important, and higher on the totem pole than what she might do naturally as a woman in their relationship. A lot of these men asking this question aren't even offering healthy relationships, but they want a woman to be at her 100% best at all times just to prove herself worthy to be what? Cheated on, to be treated like shit. These men want women to submit to them, but they aren't leaders. They're asking this question as if just having a job or just having muscles, being able to provide or protect is the only thing that women want, the only thing that they do as a man. Like they're cavemen, and a woman just wants a caveman to have sex with her, give her some money, and protect her when danger comes, right? They've simplified women to those very, very basic instincts. It's like they forget it's 2021. Women are working for themselves, building success for themselves, protecting themselves, owning guns, and learning MMA. They don't need a man just like you don't need a woman. But if you value partnership, then it's worth the try. It's worth the sacrifice, and it's worth the cooperation. These men often want rulership, and that's why they're asking these questions, because they want to reduce a woman's self-value so that she accepts rulership instead of cooperation. Women could flip this stupid-ass question on men if they wanted to, but what's the point? Guys are dead serious starting this conversation now talking about, well, who's going to get up in the middle of the night? Who's got to make the money? Who's got to this? Who's got to that? First of all, if a woman's been single for a long time, she's likely been getting up in the middle of the night when she hears a bump in the night for her damn self. She clearly can do that. She doesn't need you to do that. You gonna get up with a gun, she can go buy one too. You go get a job, she can go get one too. No one needs anyone. We choose relationships when we want partnership and companionship and cooperation. If a woman's been single, she's been providing for herself. She's been protecting herself. And just to keep it real, like, what kind of weak-ass man kisses his own ass for protecting his own home? You really throw that up in a woman's face? I gotta work and I gotta protect. I gotta get up in the middle of the night. What kind of man is kissing his own ass for getting up in the middle of the night, protecting his own home? What kind of man would even let his woman do that? Who's thinking about that shit? How is that a flex? Any of these men out here talking about, well, I'm the one that's got to get up in the middle of the night. I'm the one that's got to protect us if something happens. That ain't no man shit right there. A man patting himself on the back for testosterone and trying to make you match up. What do you bring to the table? I bring testosterone. That's some bullshit. Please get away from his weak ass. If a man wants credit for testosterone, you will never be enough for him. If I heard something in the middle of the night, I wouldn't even let my woman get up and check that shit. Like, what is that? My woman's supposed to be getting under the bed, getting her gun, and getting to the safe room. She ain't supposed to be getting up and checking no nigga. I'm supposed to be doing that. These modern men and Kevin Samuels fans out here really be trying to get credit for testosterone while asking a woman what she brings to the table, besides sex. As if sex isn't a mutual exchange that both people need to enjoy. No one brings anything to the table that can't be provided in another way. To ask a woman what does she bring to the table besides sex makes the assumption that every guy is already handling his business and that his only job is to receive pleasure from a woman. And what's funny is, while everybody assumes that every high-value man or man with options is good at sex, the reality is a lot of these women, about half of them, are chasing men who aren't even satisfying them. They're just emotionally and psychologically drawn to these men and attached to these men. I've coached over 4,000 women, and I can tell you, you'd be surprised how many disloyal, petite in the pants, stroking off beat men are out here that have options, that are considered high value, that every woman wants. Don't even know what they're doing with what little they have. But will get in these chat rooms, these comment sections, and in a woman's face and dead ass serious ask her to rate herself between 1 and 10. Rate your goofy ass, weak ass, little ass sex game from 1 to 10. If that was a show, I'd watch it. It would be crying and gnashing of teeth if women actually got on video and asked a man to rate himself from 1 to 10 with receipts from other women who had been with him. Men love watching these red pill creators and these alpha male content guys tell a woman to rate herself between 1 and 10 when they themselves have a sex game that's average at best. And it pisses me off and it's irritating to me because a lot of these men have young daughters, yet and still they have reduced a woman's human value to a shut mouth and open legs. That shows you what type of father they are. And while they can call me a simp, if they're not teaching their daughters the same thing I'm teaching women, they are unfit to be fathers. I'm so sick of this whole all women are useless and undeserving of proper treatment except for my daughters, except for the women in my family, except my mom, my cousin, my sister, my daughter. All women ain't shit except for the vagina that you know. This is idiocy. I don't know how these guys don't see the lunacy in that, despising all women except for the one connected directly to you. Wanting the best for the women that you love while hating and despising and bringing the worst to every other woman. How does that help our people? How does that help our culture? How does that help our future generations? How does a bunch of broken homes help our future generations? They will call me a simp for helping women, for helping good women, healthy-minded women, trying to restore the minds of some of these women who've been programmed against themselves. I'm a simp. I'm pandering. Yet and still, they want the best for the women that they know. I want the best for our community. I want the best for our people. We need healthy-minded men and strong women to have a best shot at overcoming all of the different oppressive institutions that are against us right now. Speaking to black people, obviously. If I'm being completely honest here, a lot of this high-value man rhetoric is rooted in white supremacist ideologies and patriarchy. To believe that a man is more valuable than a woman based on his position in society means you must also believe that the white man is better than every other man based on his position in society. You cannot believe in patriarchy and not believe in white supremacy. They are the same idea. They are two sides from the same coin. We have a lot of black white supremacists out here who don't even realize that they have become the black hand of white supremacy in their communities by destroying them, by hating their own people, by treating their women like shit, by selling drugs to their own community, by killing their own. If a man is superior just because he is stronger or more fit or whatever thing that you attach to a man that you think makes him great, that leads to him winning in society, You can apply that same thing to the white supremacist ideology of our position in society as black people. Anyway, I say all that to say this. Stop trying to answer that dumbass question. It's meant to make you question yourself and build insecurities around your principles and your standards for yourself and for other people who deal with you. It's meant to remove a man's burden of being responsible and being great to you. It's meant to encourage submission instead of cooperation. It's meant to create need and desperation while removing the leverage of choice. If a man starts this conversation with you, get far, far away quickly. He doesn't have a healthy relationship to offer you. And no amount of money or shopping or lifestyle upgrades will undo the damage that he does to your mind and emotional complex. Male superiority and white superiority are connected, and I wish more of our men would see that instead of yelling simp every time one of us speaks up on behalf of our women. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KVIC24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.